This is my first Photoshop tutorial I have ever tried to do, so you'll have to bear with me. I've chosen to do a undead animal, if you will. I'll quickly show you the final result. To start that off, I'm going to File and Open. I'm going to choose a background which I've already selected. I'm then going to click and drag on the animal skeleton and drop that in, but I'm going to accept that. I'm then going to get the zebra and click and drag that also, and I'll accept that. Now I'm just going to move the skeleton on top of the zebra so you can see where it needs to be. Now I've already cut and pasted this skeleton, which was actually a horse skeleton, about 4 or 5 times. I've created new layers on top of layers on top of layers of the skeleton and hidden them all until I'm working on the current layer, and then I will resize it and warp and whatever else to get it to fit, and then I'll just use the eraser tool and rub out the parts that I don't want to be seen in there because it was too hard to fit exactly. So I would do a back leg, then I'd do another back leg, I'd just do the rib cage, and then I'd do the neck and the head. And then I grabbed those 4 skeleton layers which made this complete layer here, and I merged them into one layer. Okay, so as you can see, that fits pretty well with my final result of the skeleton being made. Now I'm going to select both of the skeleton and the zebra and Control T or Command T for max, zoom out, and I will Command Control T again, and then I'm going to try and make him a bit bigger. Okay, so I'll accept that. Now I'm going to select the skeleton, right click, and I'm going to rasterize the layer. I'm also going to click the zebra, right click, and rasterize that layer. Okay, make sure the skeleton layer is on top so you can see where it sits within your zebra. I'm then going to move the zebra layer on top of the skeleton so that it then looks like it's been covered. I'm going to create a mask, which is the small China flag, I call it, down the bottom. Now, making sure you're in that layer mask, I'm going to then select brush. I'm going to choose around 100 somewhat for the size. Hardness is 0, and I choose the first soft round brush. You then have to make sure that your black and white colours are on to black, because black's going to reveal it and the white's going to conceal it. You can lower the opacity if you think it's too bright. You can reduce the size of the brush. I'm just going to Control plus to zoom in on my PC and slowly start revealing the skeleton that I've created. Now it doesn't matter if you show more than what you wanted to show, because you can just go back over with the white and then cover up what you didn't want shown. I'm just doing it quickly. Done some of that leg. Okay, so you can see that I've taken out a fair bit, but that's okay. Then I'm going to show the face. Okay, so now I've done too much, so I'm going to switch back to the white. I'm going to use the curly bracket or the square bracket on the left to reduce the size. I've switched to white so that I can go back over and hide some of the skull and try and make it a little more subtle. I'm going to use the square bracket to make the brush bigger, and I'm just making the bits I don't really want to be hidden a little bit, but not completely. Now I'm going to switch back again to the black, lower the brush with the square or curly bracket, and I'm going to just make sure I've defined the bone correctly. Switch back to the white, make it fairly small, making sure you're on the zebra mask. I'm then going to try and paint in the bone back in the skeleton, into the zebra, so it doesn't look like it's just got no leg. Again, if you do it too much, then you can use your black to hide or reveal, sorry, the bone more prominently, or the white to take some of the skeleton off. So we want to sort of hide most of that on the leg because we're just trying to show the actual bone coming through so that Undead doesn't have a leg. I've taken it off under the ribs so it looks like he's pretty hollow under there. Again there, I just want to correct with the white, show more of the leg from that side, switch back to black just to straighten up and tidy the bone missing from that leg. Okay, that's fine. So what I've got for now, so you can see that there's only part of it revealed at the moment. I'm then going to go into the skeleton layer and change the layer style down to luminosity, so it's going to blend in better with the zebra. I am then going to click off the mask of the zebra, which is that one to the left. I'm going to Control plus to zoom in, and I'm going to go to the brush, colour replacement, double click on the colour, choose a red, and I'm going to try and draw in roughly where the zebra's eye would be. I'm then going to grab the burn tool and try and lower that off a smidgen. You can also use the dodge and burn tool over the bones if you want to darken or lighten any of them for extra emphasis on the zebra. Okay, I am then going to create a new layer. I'm going to bring it down to the bottom, and I'm going to get a gradient with the gradient tool. I'm going to make sure that the colour is white to translucent. Select OK. I'm going to hit D here because it's showing red to black and I want it to be black to white or white to black. And I'm going to drag from the middle of the stomach to halfway across to create a great big white ball, so to speak, around to emphasize the stomach of the zebra. I am then going to change it to soft light, just to give it a very subtle light onto the zebra. I'm then going to duplicate the zebra layer. I'm going to bring it down to the very bottom, just above the background. I'm going to click on the mask and delete the layer mask because I only want the zebra on its own. I'm then going to double click on that to bring up the layer styles, and I'm going to choose color overlay. I'm going to double click on color overlay and I'm going to change the color to black. So now you've got a black effect on the back. So we're going to select OK. Now we'll need to Control minus to zoom out. I'm going to have to select all 4 of the layers, the zebra, the skeleton, the white light I've made and the copy, and I'm going to Control T or Command T, and I'm going to bring him down to the ground, so make him look more realistic, and I'm going to accept that. Then I'm going to turn off what I had highlighted and I'm going to be on the zebra copy only. And we're going to Control in to have a look. Now you can see that there's a black around the horse. We're going to Control T to bring up the resizing. We're going to right click and we're going to skew. Now we're going to grab it from the middle at the top here and we're going to slowly bring it so that we can get the reflection of the horse. We're going to accept, Control T again. I'm going to right click and I'm going to scale this time, and we're going to bring it down to replicate the shadow of a horse. Now I've pulled it across too much, so I'm going to Control T again and right click and skew, and I'm going to bring it back to the left so that it's looking more like an actual shadow of a zebra. When you're happy with that, I'll hit OK. Now lastly, we're just going to lower the opacity to 30–40% to give it a nice little shadow, then Control out, and we're done with the undead effect of a zebra. Thanks for watching.